Feels good. Cover up my coffee. Got my water lid. Use it to cover up my coffee. Keep it warm. Good morning, Bryce. Gonna have to start wearing my reading glasses. Good morning, Chip. When I do my show, especially when I just wake up and I start my show. Good morning, Will Bill Chill. Because it's hard to read the font. Good morning, James. And who's saying hi? Hello, Mike. Hello, Highland Girl. Hello, Carolyn. I mean, obviously I'm doing it, but the words are kind of fuzzy. And names are kind of fuzzy. World is kind of fuzzy. Feels good, though. Feels good. Feels good. Good morning, Lisa Olson. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Jason. And good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy. Hello, Donna. And this is Coffee with Ken. Will Bill Chill. I need some coffee with Will Bill. It is Tuesday morning. It is September 24th. It is, I got a clock because I'm on Instagram, 6:58 a.m. Happy Tuesday. This is a little show I have been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs that we all have in life. Used to think it was just me with a negative voice inside my head and that everyone else had it all figured out. And I started talking about 5.5 years ago on a show that quickly became Coffee with Ken when I was living in a dark apartment and I was missing the woman of my dreams and I was scared of being at home by myself because I had such a negative voice inside my head. So I'd spent my life trying to surround myself with other people and be social and drink alcohol and smoke pot to cover up the negative voice inside my head. And one day, 5.5 years ago, I go, wait a minute. We got to fix this. And that became Coffee with Ken. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, and happy evening from another part of the world. Somebody's watching and it's 7:58 in the evening. I wonder how Coffee with Ken translates into other languages. I wonder if a viewer from, say, Thailand is watching. Do they get the words transcribed in Thai? Or do the words actually come out and can you hear them in another language? So it's like watching one of those old Godzilla movies that are made in Japan and they put English voices over the Japanese actors' mouths. And the Japanese actors will go, and then the words will come out in English and they don't match the movement of the mouth at all. Jason said the language of coffee is universal. And that reminds me, and he's right. For those who've been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. By the way, my intro is pretty good. My intro is pretty good. And it just kind of happened. But anyway, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am so excited to take my first sip. I was kind of walking through my little studio and kind of half awake, half asleep. and woke up really quiet this morning and was really happy I did. Got some extra sleep and had some melodic music playing in the background. I probably could have laid there all day and just listened to the repetitive, droning, soft music. But anyway, I usually think of things I'm grateful for before I get out of bed. But I was so sleepy, I almost didn't remember. And I kind of walking around, I got the coffee started, and turning on the lights, opening the blinds. Went back towards the coffee maker, and I smelled that sweet smell of pumpkin spice coffee. And I said, thank you, God, for my pumpkin spice. And it kind of made me chuckle. So, anyway, without further ado, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. Yeah. Some mornings I wake with a really active mind, and today, obviously, I mean, my mind, if you did a CAT scan or whatever they say, there would be some mental activity, but some mornings my mental activity is probably like, woo, like a roller coaster. Today it's kind of, woo, feels nice having it go like this, rather than wish I had some lesson to give you, to teach you how to have this sort of mental pattern. But I don't. I don't know why, but it feels good. Maybe the key is wearing yourself out emotionally. And I think I've been kind of wearing myself out emotionally and physically a little bit over the last lifetime, which leads to a lot of highs and lows and a little less of this. And this feels nice. This feels nice. I've been working a lot, working as a waiter about 6 nights a week, and need to because I need the money, and enjoy it, and the money's good, and I've got a lot of financial responsibilities. Most of you know I'm twice divorced, and I tell you what, being twice divorced with kids from both wives is hard. You know, I think everyone probably can imagine it's hard financially because you have a lot of financial responsibilities to 2 separate families, and then you have to keep your head above the water too. And I tell you what, that is not always easy. It's challenging enough under perfect situation in today's world, probably in any world, but today's world certainly, with high prices of housing and high prices of food and high prices of everything. But yeah, when you pay child support to 2 ex-wives, and you got to figure out the financial situation for yourself as well, it's hard. But it's not just financial. I think a lot of people can imagine that. It's emotionally exhausting too, and I'm sure it's hard at home every day, but I think I've been dealing with a lot of guilt over the last couple of weeks that I know like 2 weeks ago I was hoping to go see my oldest in college for the weekend during Parents' Day, and then last Friday I was really hoping to see my second daughter cheer at a home football game. She's a cheerleader. She does flips. Sent me a video of her going doom 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 down the track. I can barely do a somersault. Her mom, I promise, I hope she's not watching because she won't like it, is less athletic than me. So I don't know where this little ball of muscle and energy, learned how to do all these flips all the way down the track. I was kind of wondering when I saw the video, does she wear gloves? Or does that hurt her hands? I would imagine it would hurt a little bit. Fortunately, she didn't fall, because if she fell, it would have hurt a lot. But she enjoys that a lot. Good morning, Wanda. She enjoys that a lot. And I wasn't able to go. I was hoping to go. I was working at the restaurant. I started at 10:45 in the morning. Was hoping to get cut early, but it was Friday and they needed me there. Looked at the schedule this week, and I'm having the same schedule this week, so I'm probably going to have to work, or get to work. I like to say get to. Sometimes it slips, and I say have to. Work late again on Friday and not be able to see wherever she's cheering. And I wanted to go to one of her home games because I think, I don't know, the cheerleaders get a little more, I don't know, they cheer up the crowd. They rally the crowd. Last year I went to an away game and it was cold and rainy and the crowd was small and frigid. Hope it'll be nice. But anyway, my point is, I looked 2 weeks out on the schedule. I found out when her home games were, and she only has 2 remaining, and one of them was far enough out that I hadn't been scheduled. So right before I went to bed last night, I requested off a couple Fridays from now. I think that made me feel a little better, as silly as that might sound, because I think the fact that I hadn't seen her cheer yet this year. She's a sophomore. I know she's got 2 years ahead of her, but I also know the time goes really quickly. And I know just as a dad looking at it, I miss the experience from a selfish point. But I wonder from their perspective, why isn't Dad in the stands? I'm going to get teary-eyed. I don't want to get teary-eyed, but and maybe that's not their perspective. Maybe they know Dad's working or whatever. But it was weighing heavily on me. And I've got 2 little ones that I'm not seeing very much at all right now because life, because working, and transportation, and housing, all sorts of things. And that's been hard too. So yesterday I went live on TikTok for a while. And it was weird. TikTok's an interesting platform, and you can generate revenue there as a content creator. So I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured out, I appreciate you saying that, Jason. I hope so. But, they want Dad to love them, but they probably also want Dad to be there. And it's just hard being there when you're twice divorced, and they're living in different homes. And, if I had a regular job and was living at home with them, even if I might have to miss a lot of things, I'd see them at breakfast and see them as they headed out to go see their friends at night or what have you. Yeah. Arnap asked, how often do I get to see my kids? I get to see them more than I can see them. I get to see them. I mean, I could arrange with the older girls, all the ones in college now. I'm sure I could coordinate with her to go out to her town and take her out to dinner or something like that. And the little ones, require stuff that Dad doesn't currently have, to be honest with you. They need cribs and their own room and a ton of playthings and honestly a car to drive them around. And I don't have any of those things right now. And so my focus is on working hard and getting my feet back under me after a second divorce and a career change. And you'd like to flip a switch and throw a little pixie dust on the world and make it all happen. And sometimes it takes longer than you'd like. And I think that's kind of weighing heavily on me the last couple weeks especially. Oh, so I went live on TikTok yesterday. I was feeling kind of blue and sad. And TikTok's a strange platform. It's good in that you can generate a lot of revenue on it if things kind of, the stars align, and you get a ton of views on videos that are longer than a minute, and people on the live platform can give you gifts. They throw roses and diamonds and weird little stuff, little cartoon gifts, and each of them pays you very little, sometimes as little as like half a cent, but if you get 1,000 of them, it's $5, and that's something. And it all adds up, and it all helps me cover my financial responsibilities and moves me forward, and feels good. But on the flip side of that, it's kind of the Wild West, and they let people say mean things and create 50 different fake accounts all at the same time. And you can remove somebody from a conversation or block them from following your account, but they can pop back up in seconds. And that was happening yesterday. And the words that they say don't bother me really at all anymore. It used to. You get a thicker skin doing this. But what bothers me is just that somebody would do that. Not that anything they say hurts me, that there's somebody out there that... I mean, I laugh just thinking about it. That actually has so little going in their life or in their day or in their morning to create a whole bunch of fake accounts and say mean things to anybody. Even if what they were saying was true, what's the point? You know, there's bad guys in prison. Do they say that have done horrible things? Do they write mean letters to them all day? I mean, it almost makes me hurt as a human being that there's somebody that would do it. But again, the words don't hurt me. Just the fact that there's somebody out there that would do that is creepy or disturbing. Okay, so yesterday I'm sitting there. It's Monday at 2:00. It's my day off, and I get a text from some fake number, and I get a few a week, saying a bunch of hateful stuff. I wish I had access to it, but it's calling me an idiot and saying I'm never going to account to anything, and that I'm condescending, rude, and mean, and I am in no way a representative of Naperville, and get out of our town. It was just so weird. It was just so weird. Because I'm just a guy. I mean, heck, I'm living in an extended stay. I'm twice divorced. I'm struggling in a whole bunch of ways, like all of us. But there's people out there that would prey on my vulnerability and try and hurt me. It's kind of funny. I mean, it is, but it's also sad. So I took a screenshot of the text and posted it on Facebook. Why wouldn't I? And one of my admirers sent me a sweet message today. And I think people were shocked that goes on, because you would be, because normal people, even if they don't like somebody, would probably change the channel, would probably stop watching. And this person said, I need to get professional help, exclamation. And I'm going, maybe I do. Maybe I've seen therapists. Maybe I do need professional help. But I promise you, person that has a fake phone number and is sending a hateful text on a Monday at 2, you might need to go talk about your anger issues as well. It's weird. And anyway, so I posted on Facebook just to kind of give you the world a flavor of what goes on and what is out there, because it's kind of frightening. And a bunch of people asked, well, how'd they get your number? I was a realtor 17 years. You'd be shocked how many people have my phone number. and how many places you could Google it and find it. And I could get a new number, but I like my number. You know, I don't like my number. I don't want to change it. And I don't care that much, really. I mean, it's just a text. I mean, and 1,000 hateful comments and mean fake accounts and other things. But again, I'm at this moment laughing about it. But somebody said on there, well, I mean, a ton of people were supportive and said, hey, you're living rent-free in their minds. And maybe that's true. But somebody said, well, you wanted to be an influencer. Clearly you are. You're influencing these people to action. And that got me to thinking. I don't even know what an influencer is. And I've never said I wanted to be an influencer or influence people. I mean, I hope I do, I guess, in a positive way, and maybe have them look at their own mental well-being or their own habits or their own relationships or financial issues. And I'm hoping my experiences do help. But I never thought of myself as an influencer. I don't really know what that means. And I certainly didn't want to be. I just started out as a guy talking who needed to talk, who was in a dark apartment 5 years ago and was struggling with a bunch of things, and just went live one Saturday morning. And I didn't want to be an influencer, but I wanted to make a difference. And I wanted to make a difference. And in my careers of being a realtor or a stockbroker, I never felt I made a difference. And one Saturday morning, almost 5.5 years ago, I went live and just kind of talked like I'm talking right now. And I got a bunch of messages and saying, oh, wow, thanks for sharing. You know, I'm struggling with alcohol, mental health, relationships, financial issues as well. Feels so good knowing I'm not alone. And just from those first couple of videos I did, it almost like was God telling me, hey, you're now making a difference. And what you're doing makes a difference. And that felt good. And here I am 5.5 years later, still doing my show and still wanting to make a difference. Gregory says an influencer in his mind is to use your person as a business to promote yourself or any particular thing you're trying to promote or sell. Yeah, I think you're right, Gregory. And I'll have people reach out going, hey, I love your content. If you want to sell more and get more viewers, hire us to do this. And I go, I don't make any money doing this. I'm not selling anything. You know, I don't sell anything. So I don't know. I mean, I appreciate and value each of you watching. But on Instagram, I mean, there's no compensation at all. And I mean, I'm not, woe is me, but just you get down to the business side of it and there isn't. So I'm not like selling anything. I'm not saying buy this sweatshirt. Although I did have a group of kids send it to me for free if I wore it. It is athletic reflective gear, by the way. And the company's name is LumiSafe. And I met these kids at a track meet last year that were little entrepreneurs and had this reflective athletic gear. And I'll tell you, the sweatshirt's great and it's comfortable and it's warm and it is reflective. I don't know if I need it to be reflective. I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot of running at night these days. I'm not barely doing any running. Arnaf says, any tips for dealing with stress and anxiety? Can you hold that? And let me top off my coffee and I'll come back. First of all, I've done so many videos on it, but I'll do another one because it always feels good when people ask me specific questions, because clearly Arnaf wants to know about dealing with stress and anxiety. So hold on. I'm going to make a difference, hopefully, for Arnaf and anybody else that's watching. Oh. Well, first of all, it's good to acknowledge you're stressed and anxious. I think the world, especially if you're a man, tells you to bury such softer emotions and grin and bear it and take it like a man, and men don't cry and things like that. And I don't think that works. It might work for the hard Marlboro man, but I tell you what, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. First of all, I think just saying you're struggling out there is going to help. I'm going, okay, it's a hard morning. I'm struggling. I'm stressed out about everything, and I'm anxious about everything, and I'm afraid of everything. Woohoo! This sucks. Kind of let it out. Kind of let it out and acknowledge it, because I think it has its most power when you don't shine a light on it a little bit. And although I do believe what you focus on expands, I think there is a place and a time to let out the stuff and to shine a light on the stuff and say, hey, there's a whole pile of stress and anxiety there, and it's in my chest and in my mind, and it feels crappy. And I think just by talking about it, it almost gets it out and puts it in front of you on the table in a big pile sort of way. You go, wow, that's ugly. I don't want that in my mind or my heart anymore. And I got so many tips, but the quickest one is, I don't know, say you're stressed about a bill you got to pay, or about rent coming due, or about the job you have. And I hate to get too spiritual, because I don't think preaching necessarily works, or the show was about being preaching, but find something you're grateful for. If you're stressed that you don't know how you're going to pay your mortgage or your rent October 1st, be thankful for the 8 days you still have rent paid for the rest of the month, or your mortgage payment paid for. Or if you're stressed about your job, or about your boss, or about your pay, be thankful you have a job and you get paid, and find a way to be thankful for that pain in the butt boss. And I'm telling you, I think that's the easiest, quickest way to feel better. And because hopefully you won't stop there, and you won't be thankful for the 8 days of rent you have left in the month, or the job, or what have you. Hopefully you'll then go, wow, I'm really thirsty. I'm thankful for this water. And although my refrigerator isn't stocked full with all sorts of food, it did have some nice pumpkin spice for me when I woke up this morning, so I'm thankful for this coffee. And although I have 32 people watching right now, I could bitch and moan and be bummed about that, but I'm thankful for those 32, even though I wish it was 3,200. And I'm thankful for the people that are watching. And then you can kind of go through your day, and it won't pay your bills, and it won't change your boss, and it won't, I don't even know what the third imaginary struggle was, but it'll put you in a better frame of mind. And I am telling you, the worst, the most dangerous thing, the most important thing, it's not time, it's a good attitude. And if you're divorced, getting a divorce, and a divorce is hard and painful and expensive and mentally exhausting and yucky in so many ways. But the worst part about it is the negativity it can put in your mind and your heart towards another human being, or towards the world, or towards life. And having that negativity is the biggest risk. Because yes, you want to pay your mortgage, and yes, you want to pay your rent, and yes, you want a higher paying job and a kinder boss and a bigger home and no car issues and better health. But if you let your mind focus on and this sounds so cliche, but it's true, on the crap, your life will become crap. And I am telling you, as a guy that was living in his car, albeit it was an Audi A6 at the beginning of last summer, I found a way to be grateful every morning as I was folding up my blanket, putting it in the trunk, brushing my teeth in the back of the car or behind the trunk, getting on a red shirt to go to Target, where I was working at Target making $15.50 an hour because it was the job I had. And let me tell you, it wasn't fun or easy, but the only thing that got me through it was looking east and going, well, thank you, God, for the sun rising over there. And sometimes I'd laugh. Sometimes it'd be cloudy. So you had to look a little deeper to find something you were grateful for. But still, I had that blanket. It was a nice green soft comforter I was folding up every day. Got me through some really, really hard times. And although some of the things I've had to do seem crazy to somebody, and they don't understand how I got here or how you got there and the people in your life, how you got here, it's good to learn lessons from the past, but you're not going to, you can't change the past. And all you can do is your best going forward. And I promise you, you are going to do a lot better feeling grateful for things than angry at things. And I struggle with it. I was feeling angry yesterday, and it was a hard day. So it doesn't mean I've got it all figured out, but I am aware of it, and I'm aware when I have yuckiness in me. And it's good for you to be aware that you're struggling with stress and anxiety. I forget who even said that. But again, if you're worried about something, you're thinking too far ahead. You're thinking too far ahead, and you're missing the good stuff in your life right now. Yeah. So that's my thoughts about that. I watch Coffee with Ken every morning. Like all my videos. Subscribe to me on various social media platforms. I don't know if I'm right, but I like talking. I talked yesterday on my show about, I think people have a misconception of what science is. And I think that politically, it's so weird. Angers some people, because I think during the COVID years, science became a weapon almost, and a way to control others. And I am skeptical of certain scientific research out there. And I'll tell you what, part of the whole scientific process is looking at things from a different way and being a little skeptical and trying new things and experimenting. The whole word, it's an experiment. And somebody goes, so science is an opinion? And I don't know if he said it in that voice, but that's the way Curly Girl, yeah, I'm on YouTube. That's the way I interpreted his question. And I was going to ignore it because I've gotten good at ignoring seeing combat or seeing conflict or seeing an argument and ignoring it. And he asked me if science is an opinion. And I go, well, it's certainly not fact. Can we agree on that? And he hasn't come back. And I think, again, I don't want to argue, but just because some research indicates that wine might be good to prevent heart attacks doesn't mean wine is good for you. And, you can get different scientific opinions on totally opposite. And the scientists told us the world was flat, and the Earth was the center of the universe and that bread was good for you when I was a kid. And now science tells us totally different things. And I promise you, in 500 years, science is going to tell us different things. Because what it is a summation of the best research we have at that moment. And, yeah. And science is selling us things. Scientists work for big corporations and get government grants. So scientists are, I tell you what, this is going to piss some people off. The medical community is selling us things. Doctors are selling us things. They've got the easiest customers in the world. Oh, here, get a test for this, this, and this. That'll be $7,000. We don't pay it. Our insurance company pays it. We pay our insurance, but we go, well, I've got a headache today. Got a bigger headache because I'm taking all these tests and it's going to cost $7,000. Young Madre said faith in God is more reliable than science. I agree, and I wouldn't have thought that growing up, and it sounds nutty to people, I'm sure. I promise, yeah, man. 60 years ago, the scientists weren't telling us cigarettes were bad. Now we got the Surgeon General's warning us, and they got to put labels on the cigarette packs. I promise you, in the last 100 years, the opinions on laying out in the sun have flip-flopped probably 10 different times. Bronze skin looks healthy. Pale skin looks sickly. Vitamin D is good for you. Vitamin D comes from the sun. The chemicals in the suntan lotion are either protecting us from the sun or they're causing cancer in lab rats. I promise you, we haven't figured it all out. And I tell you this, science isn't fact. And what brought it up yesterday, and I don't want to tick anybody off over here, was me questioning whether alcoholism is a disease. And I think by labeling alcoholism as a disease, it gives the medical community something to fix, something to cure, and something to sell us. And it also gives us, as the people that drown our sorrows every night, an excuse to keep doing it because we got a disease. But what that's doing is it's taking the power of choice away from you. And I'm telling you, you have a choice. And if you drank last night and want to stop or think you want to stop or kind of want to stop, and you're having the medical community tell you have a disease, you're going, what the heck? I got a disease. I got a disease. I'm going to drink tonight because I got a disease. It gives you an excuse. And I think a lot of people want an excuse. And this subject, I think, angers more people than almost anything I talk about. But tough. I get enough hate mail. I can handle a little more. It gives us an excuse. And you have the power to put that bottle down or not pick it up tonight. And if you need some help, pray to God and ask for strength to make the right decision and not drink the alcohol tonight that you drank last night that had you waking up feeling crappy this morning. Yeah. So maybe I bring on the trouble myself for having opinions. I think we all have opinions, but I tend to voice mine a little. It's part of my charm. It's why I do my show. I have these thoughts, and I think a lot of them are probably right. But I'd say them in the outside world, and people would argue with me. And I don't like arguments. I don't want to argue with anybody. But I still have my thoughts. And it feels good to have them come out. And you guys don't have to watch, and you don't have to believe what I'm saying, and you can think that you have a disease, so it's okay to go drink tonight because you have a disease. But then I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to wake up hungover. And I'm going to get on my high horse, but I'm going to keep preaching because I have a ton of people reaching out going, oh, I drink too much. I drink too much. What do you do? What do you do? Stop. Stop. But it's Sunday afternoon. My football team's playing. My buddies called me over to watch the game. Well, you have two choices. Don't go, or go and don't drink. It's not rocket science. Oh, but I have a disease. Somebody said carbs and sugar are to the fat what alcohol is to the alcoholic. Yeah. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I struggle with both. Holy crap. I was weak. I'm weak. I was weak. I made the choice to keep drinking every night for 35 years. I was weak. I was weak yesterday because I ate a whole bag of M&Ms. But honestly, I didn't really want to stop. I wanted to finish the damn bag. So I think the key is taking responsibility and saying, I chose to eat all the M&Ms. I chose to take in 2,500 empty calories of crap. I'm going to have to deal with the consequences. And when we label things as diseases and give ourselves excuses, we lose the power. And we lose the power. Jason says he has a carbs disease. Yeah, you don't really. I know you're just joking, Jason. Yeah, you see overweight people. And they go to a doctor about losing weight. It's not that complicated. It's not. And we all know it, but we look for excuses. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at all, or I'm better than anybody that's going to drink tonight or anybody that's overweight. But if we want to fix it, we probably all know. How do you stop drinking? Stop. How do you lose weight? Don't eat so much. Go hungry sometimes. It works. I tell you what, I lost weight 10 pounds in 5 weeks by spending more time each day being hungry. It's amazing how when you're hungry more often, you lose weight. Wow, who would have thought? I thought if I ate a well-balanced meal with the 4 basic food groups that the scientists told me to eat. Somebody's saying sugar's more addictive than alcohol. You could say caffeine's more addictive than alcohol. And, I'd have a hard time giving up coffee, but I don't want to give up coffee. And I think a lot of people that drink every day that just don't want to stop drinking. And that's okay. That's okay to not want to stop drinking. You probably should. It's not healthy. Don't drive and drink. But if you want to spend every night with a bottle of whiskey watching a football game or whatever, who am I to tell you how to live your life? But just don't act like you kind of want to stop and you don't know how. Don't drink. I'm going to get a lot of trouble for this. I'm going to have some scientists. I'm going to have people call me a science denier. Oh, but there's research that shows. Some guy in Scotland has done a test on sheep and proved that there's a medical addiction to grass. Damn sheep won't stop eating the grass. It says it wants to stop eating the grass, but it doesn't know how. Alcoholism is a symptom of a bigger issue, somebody said, C. Smith says. And I think so, and I know for me it was. I think we're just trying to bury who we are and bury our feelings. And I get the desire to bury our feelings and numb ourselves. I did it. I know. And it's scary facing the world when you're not numb. I tell you what, I used to wake every day and wonder when I was going to smoke weed. Because my mind was racing. I was terrified. I was going, got an appointment. Got to do this. Got to make it here. I feel guilty about this. I got a negative voice saying I suck inside my head. The negative voice is a lot quieter when I smoke some weed or drink a beer. But you're not fixing it. You're not fixing it. And I probably haven't fixed it all either, but at least I'm addressing it in a healthy way and not covering it up. And I'm talking about it, and I'm seeing therapists, and I'm going to church, and I'm being a little kinder to myself, and probably never be fixed. Probably never be fixed, because I mean, we're always going to have issues, and life would be boring if we didn't have some issues. Why would we have any need to get better? Highland Girl's wondering how much it costs to smoke a month. You know, I was a frugal smoker. I don't want to talk about it too much because you can probably get in trouble on social media, but there's different ways to consume it, and there's cheaper ways. I mean, probably $400 or $500 a month you could spend, I'd say, if I gave you an answer. Not too hard. Could spend more, but you'd have to kind of want to. And a lot of people did, and there were times I did. Yeah, she's saying it's legal everywhere now these days. It is, and I'll smell it a lot, and I'll see it in people's faces. You can tell when somebody's been smoking. I mean, their eyes are a little hazy. Their eyes are smaller, and they kind of have a big grin. I mean, I right now might have small eyes and a big grin, but I haven't smoked. But you can see it in people's faces and the way they talk and the way they act. And a lot of times you can smell it in the halls or in the street or what have you. And while I was always a believer, I'm a believer in smaller government, and generally don't like rules and laws infringing on our freedoms. So have always thought it should be legal. I'm not sure the world is a better place because it is legal. Alcohol is legal, and I'm not trying to say it should be illegal. But I do know it's bad for us. Yeah. So. Anyway, it's Tuesday morning. Kind of had a fun show here on Instagram. Don't know where I'm going to go live tomorrow. Don't know for sure. We don't know what tomorrow holds, so I don't have to put asterisk by this, but I generally go live every morning. Been going live on TikTok mostly. I thought I'd hop on here on Instagram and see some friends over on Instagram and do my preaching. Over a cup of coffee on a Tuesday morning. And I'm excited about my day. And I feel I got a great night's sleep last night. And got a few free hours over the next bit. And I'm going to try and get as much done as I can. But sometimes trying to get as much done is just being a little kinder to yourself and getting some rest if you need it. But I did have a good night's sleep, and I'm looking forward to my day, and I'm working tonight, which I'm thankful for because I need the work, I need the money, and I need to keep moving forward. And what I'm going to do today is moving me forward in one way or the other. And looking forward to moving forward. I like to think of it as just a Monopoly board, and I'm going to move my piece. I used to like to be the shoe. Move the show. Sometimes you roll a snake eyes, and you only move two places forward. But sometimes you roll double sixes, doubles. You move more than one whole line down the board, and then you get to roll again. But don't be speeding. Have I ever said what restaurant I'm working at? No, I haven't, young Madre. No, I haven't. Yeah. But, I'm looking forward to my day. And looking forward to going to work tonight and making some money and covering my expenses and starting to plan a little bit for the future. I talked about it, I think, yesterday. I saw a couple homes that would be nice for me. Probably a little beyond my budget today, but if I keep working hard, maybe in 2 weeks things will look a little better. And I think it'd be perfect for me and our 2 bedrooms, and would allow me to have a room for my little babies and have them be able to spend extended periods of time with me. And to do that, I need to keep moving forward and keep working hard and keep going live on Coffee with Ken, because I think that's the long-term answer for me, if you will. But while I'm building this, keep being grateful for the job I have waiting tables that pays pretty well and that I enjoy and I'm pretty good at as well. And I hope you're looking forward to your Tuesday. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep last night. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. I want to thank you so much for joining today. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.